Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to have you joining me today. Today we have a super special Sunday reset. We are going to be doing some deeper spring cleaning, some things we wouldn't normally do. We're going to get started in the kitchen by wiping down all of the cabinets. We're doing this in preparation for spring decorating. Normally, spring cleaning would involve a lot more than what you're going to see in today's video. However, we did just move in. We've only been here since December, so there isn't a ton of things that we need to get done, but there is some. The other thing too is I don't really like to necessarily think of it as spring cleaning, maybe more of a seasonal cleaning, because these are things that need to happen more than just once a year, obviously. So more of a seasonal cleaning. So that's what you're going to see today. It was a beautiful day. The sun was actually out. It was almost 60 degrees. Of course, it did snow the next day, but take what we can get. And like I said, I'm just going to get started by wiping down all of the cabinets in this kitchen. They really weren't that bad. We've only been here a couple of months. This hood was pretty bad, but other than that, really wasn't terrible. But I figured I would get it done. If I just stay on top of this every couple of months, they won't look too bad. White cabinets do kind of show a lot. So if you're new here, my name is Tiffany. I'm super excited to have you joining me. We live on the East Coast in New England. This is a brand new house to us. We had this house built. We do have some videos in my playlist if you're interested in seeing that process. We've lived here since about December. No, it wasn't about December. It was December. And I am a full-time elementary school counselor. My husband is a special educator, and we have 5 crazy kiddos ranging from the age of 15 down to 6. So our house is always busy, always loud. There's always something to do, always something to clean. So, and if you are returning, I'm so thankful you're here with us today. Let me just stop chatting here for a minute and let's get to spring cleaning. When we were building our house, we were given a certain budget for kitchen cabinets, and it was actually really low. I think it was $7,000 total, which was cabinets for the entire house. And if you know anything about cabinets, they are pretty pricey. There are some that you can do that are, on the cheaper side. However, these are something you want to last in your home. And this was an area I just didn't really want to, skimp, I guess. So when we started doing research into what cabinets we were going to use, we started looking into all these different online companies, and there are several. And we started ordering samples, and we were very, very impressed with cabinets.com, which is what we ended up going with. These are their Shaker 2 style. The only difference here is that the drawers have the shaker design as well. In the Shaker 1, the drawers are just flat, and I wanted drawers on the bottom primarily, and so I wanted them all to match. And so we went with the Shaker 2, and what happens is they come in pieces, and they are not fully assembled. Well, the cabinet themselves are fully assembled, and then you have to put them on the walls. So if you are trained, or you know how to do things like that, or you're willing to take on a challenge, you can do them yourself. But if you're like us, we had them delivered to the house, and then the builder had them installed. We designed this kitchen. We just went off the measurements, and you have to be really careful when measuring your kitchen, because these have to be like very specific sizes, and thank goodness it all worked out. But we were very impressed with our experience. This video is not sponsored by any means, but if you are interested in renovating your kitchen or you're building a home, I would highly recommend looking into cabinets.com. They were really affordable and, like I said, incredibly helpful. You do get like a design person who helps you with everything. We had our design in mind, so she just kind of put it, size wise and everything onto paper and sent us the 3D of it, and watching it come to life was so fun. We decided to go with drawers on the bottom just because they're so much easier to get to the very back. And at first my husband wasn't 100% sure this was something different, but now, like, I honestly would never go back to regular cabinets on the bottom. It's just so much easier. And I love having it because I feel like we use the entire drawer instead of just, the things in the front. It's just so much easier to get to, and I love them. Another feature we did in our kitchen that I really love is we built around the refrigerator. So you don't have to do this when you're figuring out your kitchen design. You can have the cabinet above your refrigerator pushed back. At our house in Vegas, we didn't even have a cabinet above our fridge. It was just wide open. So you don't have to do this by any means, but I felt like it was a fun way to make the kitchen feel a little more custom. And did anybody else notice that the pantry light just turned on for no reason? That was bizarre. Nobody was in there. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Anyway, we were talking about the cabinets around the fridge. If that happens again, we might have to move out. I'm not sure. But the cabinets around the fridge, like I said, just make it feel a little bit more custom, and I would not change it for the world. I love that. And I also wanted to make sure I wiped down this section here on the island. Now, I get asked questions all the time on whether or not we're going to do island chairs, and we are. There will be some kind of stool situation happening. That sounded funny. A chair situation happening at the island. I just can't decide what I want. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, furnishing a house is expensive. This house is much bigger than what we had in Las Vegas, so we've had to purchase a lot of things, and I just am not trying to go broke trying to do everything at once. Those chairs will come. They don't have to happen right now, but eventually there will be something to sit on here at the island once I figure out exactly what I want and I'm ready to spend that money and fully commit. I have commitment issues. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work on now is this pantry door, even though I'm super creeped out that the pantry light turned on its own. We're now just going to work on getting this clean. There are tons of fingerprints on here, and I just wanted to wipe them down. It was also pretty dusty. Having anything black like this, you can see the all the dust and everything. Just to mention the light in the pantry, it is motion censored, so when you walk in, it turns on. It stays on for 15 seconds or as long as somebody is moving, and then it turns off. So the fact that it popped on like that is not like super crazy. It does do that on its own. However, that means something inside was moving. So maybe it was because the floor was shaking and something inside shook, and maybe it's just really sensitive. I'm not really sure, but we're just going to go with that. I'm also taking a second to wipe down the windows here, or the glass, I'm sorry, on this door. So when we were designing the pantry, I wanted to have a door that had the windows just because I think it makes the space look a little bit bigger. There were a lot of people, saying to me, be careful with that because it means you have to keep your pantry really clean. And as you can see, when the light's not randomly turning on by itself, you can't even see inside the door really, but it does also kind of keep me making sure it's clean in there. I don't know. I also don't really care that much. It is a pantry. There's a lot of people that live here, so it's going to get used, right? But I love having the windows on this door. I originally wanted a natural oak color on that door, and maybe one day it might change, but it is also fun to have the black. It does give us some nice contrast. My appliances get so dirty all the time. I feel like I am constantly cleaning them, not because I need them to look a certain way necessarily, but mostly because I hate to open up the fridge or the dishwasher and feel food or like just grossness on the handle. I don't know, it freaks me out. The one thing that never really gets dirty except when I'm using it is the stove, and that's because nobody cooks but me. My husband does cook sometimes, but the fridge and the dishwasher definitely get really gross because my kids help with the dishes and putting those away and refilling the dishwasher, and they're definitely in the fridge all the time. So I feel like I'm constantly cleaning them. I am just using, I think it's the Wyman's steel, I think it's Wyman's stainless steel cleaner, and it works really, really well. And of course, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, taking off the knobs. You guys, I literally just learned about this like right before we moved into the house. It's been a game changer. I don't do it as often as I should, but I try to do it, I don't know, a couple times a month. I also use my stainless steel cleaner to clean this glass part of my stove. I don't know if you should or what they say you're supposed to use, but I feel like it does a really, really good job of getting it clean. There were some things on there I was trying to scrub off with my fingernail, but I just think it gets it really, really clean. And I'd rather use that than have to get a separate cleaning product. So if you want to give it a try, it works for me. Now we're going to move on to the countertops and everything on the countertops. So I'm not pulling them off and wiping everything down necessarily because I literally just did it, I don't know, a day or two ago. I just didn't film it, but I did not wipe down like all my canisters and everything. I do get asked about those a lot. They're from Hobby Lobby. I bought them a couple years ago, but hopefully they bring them back. I love them. I get asked about them all the time. They're really affordable. But my countertops, I think I've mentioned this in a previous video maybe, but they are actually just solid surface. So they aren't quartz or granite or anything like that. They're just solid surface, so they're man-made. I wanted a white countertop and I didn't want to spend a ton of money. I wanted something good quality, so I didn't want to go, you know, too affordable, but I definitely wanted something that wasn't going to break the bank. We had a low budget again. We did go over budget, but you know, I wanted something that was going to last and was going to look nice. And I also wanted something that wasn't going to clash with the brick backsplash because that was my main focus in the kitchen besides the cabinets. So we went with white. Everybody thought I was a little crazy, my builder included, but it all came together. They love it now. And it really does, you know, not matter what kind of decor you put on there when you've got the white cabinets and the white counters, and it doesn't clash with the backsplash. It just, to me, it just feels really warm and cozy and clean, and I love it. I would highly recommend, you know, going with white on white if you're interested in, you know, just that classic kitchen look. One thing I forgot to do in this video, but I ended up doing the next day off camera, was cleaning my lights. So I was warned when we were building the house not to use glass lighting because it gets really dusty, but I knew I wanted glass lighting. I just think it's really pretty, and I didn't want it to interfere with the look of the kitchen. I kind of wanted them to just disappear when you're looking at the kitchen, which is really what they do. But they do get pretty dusty. So I clean them, I don't know, maybe once a month, and primarily just dusting them off. They don't like get fingerprints and stuff. Nobody's touching them. But I forgot to do that in this video, but I did end up doing it off camera. As you can see, I have not gotten to the dining room chairs yet. There have been a lot of discussions about these chairs. There are a lot of you that think that they look really nice, and I don't hate them. That's not true. I do hate them, but not because I think that they look bad necessarily. I hate the way they look with the rug, as you can see there. And there were a lot of you that suggested just getting a new rug, which is a very valid opinion and very valid suggestion. The only thing is it matches the rug in my living room. And so I like having those things match, but they're definitely going to change. I just have to have the energy and will to want to change them. I really don't enjoy painting, and we just did a transformation in our boys' room. We put in a super cool accent wall, and that was a lot of painting, so I'm gonna get there. They're not gonna stay black, but it's just gonna take me a little while. And we're moving on to the coffee bar. This area gets cleaned all the time, so I'm literally wiping this down, but I probably wipe this down every other day. It just gets so dirty. I don't know. It just drips and it's messy, and you got to clean it, and it's white and it's fine. I probably should have gone with a black one so you don't see it as much, but I like the white, so I'm constantly cleaning it. But I did just want to get this area really, really clean because I am so excited to decorate for spring. Honestly, you guys, I am ready for spring. There are days here that feel like spring. Like today, it was beautiful. It snowed a ton yesterday, but then today it all melted away, and I'm just so excited to see some buds happening on the trees. I'm ready. I am so ready. So I just wanted to get all the areas clean so that it was easy for me to come in and do the decorating. And this little lady was snoozing on the couch. That's Luna. She doesn't typically lay on the couch, but today she was snuggling up there, so I wanted to show you one of the kitties that rarely hangs out until nighttime when everybody goes to bed. Then she comes out for her snuggles. You will always see animals of mine in every single video that I have because they are very needy and loving and want to be around us all the time. And as you can see, they are not bothered when cleaning or anything is happening around them. As I mentioned before, we've only been in the house since December, so we did a lot of cleaning when we first moved in, so everything is still pretty good. But I did just want to go through and get some bigger dusting done that I don't do all the time. So dusting off the window trim, cleaning off this door to the basement, that kind of stuff that I don't do all the time, but just figured it's probably a good thing to do seasonally. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to wipe down the blinds here in a second. We have these big, beautiful windowsills here in this house, and I love them. So want to make sure we got those clean. The other thing I don't know if you've ever noticed on our windows is we don't have the screens in. We have them. They're all in the basement, but our builder hadn't put them in before we moved in, which I didn't care. I just wanted in. I couldn't care less if there were screens or not. We would have figured it out eventually, but they're not in. And so now that, you know, the weather is warming up and we want to open the windows, we need to put them in. So I'm just afraid of like how it's going to change the look of the window. It's been so nice just being able to look out and see the trees so clearly. But we're going to have to put those screens in because I'm going to want to open the window and get some really beautiful fresh air and breeze. So that's going to have to happen here in a very near video. This is that wall I'm referring to. This has all of these big, beautiful windows. They really brighten up the house, and I'll be so sad to put the screens on, but definitely want to be able to open those windows and get that fresh air. So it's going to have to happen. But I'm not gonna lie, I do like being able to just look out the window and not have anything get in the way. The other thing you're not going to see me do in today's video is vacuum, and that's because the vacuum got left upstairs and it wasn't charged. So it was charging. I do end up doing it later on in the day, but I didn't get it on camera. So it does happen, but you're not going to see it today. Okay, my friends, that is it for today's little spring cleaning video. Like I said, this isn't your normal spring cleaning because we have only been in the house for 3 months, but we're going to call this some seasonal cleaning. These are things that I'll probably need to do a couple of times a year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe and come back for more. I can't wait to finally get all that spring decor up. I'm super excited. That'll be in our next video. So hope you had fun in this one, you guys, and I also hope you have a great week. I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.